How do you stop being a lazy, useless piece of shit? I make lists of little things to do in a day, bigger things to do in a week, etc. It helps.
How do you format those lists?
My to-do list is in the most logical order to do stuff, like going to the post office on the way to get groceries, and I put stars next to things I absolutely must do today.
Spending time worrying about formatting will paralyze you into actually doing nothing. Just write it down to start using actual pen/pencil and paper, and adjust the format later to something else if you need. It's what worked for me. I tried finding apps that gave me notifications for things, set reminders, all sorts of stuff. I spent so much time researching the optimum way to remind and motivate myself to actually do something that I ended up with nothing actually getting done. Just write it down, put the list on a wall or something somewhere where you can see it. Be disciplined enough to follow through on the small things, and eventually the big things get easier.
I also find that crossing things off or erasing them from the list provides an additional accomplishment boost for each task.
Yep, I fell into this pitfall. I got super busy planning and thinking about how to be productive and the best ways to do X, Y, and Z. I ended up getting nothing done and or wasting time on techniques that don't work for my life or personality. It all comes down to just start. Tweak later or as you go, but just start. It's like writing a novel. Quit worrying about the best way to get the character in chapter 34's dialogue, just write and start writing chapter friggin' 1.
Joe Rogan said write it down.
What honestly worked for me was following the 5 seconds rule. Whenever you need to do something but don't feel like it, immediately start counting down from 5, and once you get to 1, just start doing it. It sounds dumb but works. Realize that motivation is trash and you'll never feel motivated, except to do things that feel easy. Look up Mel Robbins on YouTube. She explains it perfectly. Motivation is trash and you'll never feel motivated.
This is totally true, and I say this as someone who works from home in a job that is 100% internally driven. My deadlines are 6 months or a year long, and I'm accountable to my boss once a year. You will never not want to goof off all day. I fight wanting to f*** around all the time. I just force myself to do things, because I know that if I don't, then eventually I'll be completely f***. I'm not motivated so much as obliged.
Finding everyday motivation is such a shallow light. It is never motivation that gets shit done, it is discipline. Motivation is just a feeling, and like all feelings, they are fickle, they come and go and sometimes never show up. You can never rely on feelings, but you can always rely on cold hard blunt discipline.
Responsibilities first is a mantra I repeat to myself all day long. I preach it to my kid. Take care of responsibilities first, and the remainder of the day is yours. You don't. This is your life now. Accept it. Become one with the bed.
Follow your dreams, keep sleeping.
Man, if I wasn't married to a proactive woman, I don't know what I'd do. She's made me less lazy and makes me want to not be a piece of shit, so I'm not. I love that woman so much.
Joining the army or join a boot camp. I was a couch potato and then I saw a paper at the library cause I needed a book for summer reading. It said to sign up for a police youth academy thingy, and I was like, why not? Let's just say 12 people dropped out, 1 person fainted. Someone drove a golf cart into a bunch of instructors, and I got the nickname Tomato Paste, because my face turns red when I work out.
By having a desire to change. I find personally there is no way to magically start having better habits, or to improve anything. Change needs motivation, either from an external source or from yourself. You need to be disgusted or upset enough at yourself and the position you're in that you're willing to put in the effort to change it, and it'll start creating an upward trajectory. It's part of how I started improving my school and work habits, as well as my gym habits. I wanted to change because I knew I could do better and be better. Think about a big thing in the future that you want to do. Like a job or moving to a new country, and then start doing shit that will help you. No zero-sum days. I forget where I read it. I read this, but I've lived by it since. Do something every day, no matter how small, to improve yourself. Some days may be less than others and improve is subjective, but making small gains will ultimately add up. Getting your home in order. Start in one corner so you won't be overwhelmed. Once you see progress, it's really motivating to go on and tackle some bigger goals. First step, don't hate on yourself so much. You're never going to realize your potential and worth if you put yourself down. It's okay to have bad days. It's okay to feel like shit. We all experience this, and for the time and climb we live in, it's fairly standard. Try and do a little bit better every day. Brush your teeth, floss, make your bed, do the dishes, stand when you eat instead of sitting, don't take your phone to the toilet, drink water. The little things will snowball. Once you prove to yourself that you can take care of the little shit, the big shit just becomes groups of small shit. Second step, find something you want to do. If the only thing you want to do is not be a piece of shit, the fire will die quickly. But if you want to be in great shape, or learn an instrument, or play Dungeons and Dragons, or hike X mountains, or write a shitty 500-page thriller, or play bar trivia and be good at it, you'll find that as a consequence of these pursuits you drop the piece of shit along the way.
Sobriety is okay enough.
Denny says, but someday, I'd like to live a life based on doing good stuff instead of just not doing bad stuff. You know? Choke by Chuck Palahniuk. Edit, a lot of people asking about the toilet and phone. The original post was about laziness. You're there to take a shit. Get in, get out. Don't get distracted and sit around forever. This is of course self-sabotaging advice, because if we didn't read it on the toilet this post would have gone nowhere. Thanks for the love and responses. I don't have the time to reply to everything. I hope you all find a way to love yourself and thrive in your daily ventures.
The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Smile.
1. Stop calling yourself a useless lazy piece of shit. 2. Things seem overwhelming if you've let them build up and avoided them for a while. Responsibilities like chores and a job are bills you eventually have paid to yourself in the form of labor. You can't fix it all in one day, it takes time. I was where you were for a long time. Feeling like I was worthless, lazy, etc. Take it a step at a time. Example. Dishes piled so high that you can't even get to the sink because you've been wallowing in depression for 6 months and haven't left your bed except to pee and maybe eat. Clear out one side of the sink one day. The next day, wash a few things in that newly cleared sink. Do a little every day, even if it's only a couple of items. Eventually you'll get to a point where you notice the pile getting smaller and smaller. The key is not to beat yourself up over not getting it all done at once, but letting yourself feel good that you did something rather than nothing. Delete Reddit.
Seriously, if there was a way to block Reddit, Netflix, and Facebook, on my phone, computer, and work computer, without blocking my internet which I need for work, it would change my life. I have wasted so much time over the last 8 or 9 years on this site.
Been wishing for a way to stop myself since I have no willpower.
Right there with you. I had a short paper I had to write last night. I got home around 9 o'clock, perfect time to do it, right? Nope. Instead, I mindlessly browsed Reddit until around 2 a.m., then started the paper and eventually got to bed around 4:30. My age says I should technically be an adult, but I sure don't feel like one when I can't even control my behavior enough to not do stupid things like that.
There's something so exhaustively degrading about knowing it's your own fault but legitimately feeling as though you cannot make yourself stop.
It's called addiction. Yup.
And for those of you who want to say,
oh, I'm not addicted. Addiction is something that happens to other people. I'm just being dumb or lazy or act.
Look to the formal definition of addiction, continuing engaging in behavior with negative consequences even though you know it to be harmful.
No kidding, eh? I'm addicted to procrastinating. Or maybe it's to instant gratification. It's always, okay, one more hoot then I'll do stuff, one more cigarette then I'll start moseying around, I'll just have a quick snack then get her going. But I always find some new little quick satisfying thing to distract me till I run out of time, all the while knowing I'm going to regret it.
Well, I'm addicted to my own laziness.
Then you rationalize it and tell yourself that you also need time to relax and not think about work.
I'll be a lot more simple than most of these others. Brush your teeth, then do something else. No project is big, it is just a ton of amazingly easy small projects.
Stand up right now. Look down at your hands. Listen to your breath. Feel your heart pumping within you. You're alive, here on one of the few tiny scraps of rock in this vast universe where you're possible, where anything like you is possible. For 3 billion years, your ancestors have escaped meteorites and ice ages, volcanoes and floods, droughts and predators and viruses and fire and earthquake. They have seen the moon roar away and the earth's spinning slow, the continents cool and the atmosphere fill with water and oxygen. Throughout all those long eons, those tiny mindless cells became fish and reptiles and then mammals. They cooperated, competed, killed, lived. They became humans, and through the long march of history they have survived the wars and pogroms, been heroes and villains. Thieves, saints, cannibals, doctors, every strategy and choice and lucky break is in you summarized and concentrated. You are the last link in a chain forged across billions of years. You inherit a crown passed through untold generations of winners. You are impossible. You are a miracle. Look around you. Look at the world we have made, full of knowledge distilled from painstaking examination and wisdom hard-won by a billion survivors and veterans and saints. Look at how far we have all come. Look at the people around you, all asleep to the greatness within them. Close your hand, open it. You have so many choices. You can do so much. Your time is drawing to an end. Who will tell your story? What will they say? You can pass the torch. You can stand in glory. I know you can. Because every atom within you has been present for countless victories. You wear a shape sculpted through countless trials. Your thoughts echo down the hallways of a mind designed to master the problems of this world. You are the end of a billion journeys. You are the summit of a mount older than the stones. You are the victory. You are the reason. You are, and you shall be. Go now. Go forward, to shape the wonders and tales of the world that will follow you. Add a brick to the monument of civilization. Honor the web of life that has made you. Bring life and love into a world that has offered the same to you. Your time is here. Your victory comes soon. Go.
I mean, I'm glad I'm destined for all this greatness, but can I finish pooping first?
All poop was once alive itself. It is the distillation of so many stories which are now but part of yours. Honor your poop, and all the quiet duties of the plants and simple joys and terrors of the animals which it once was. Remember that your life is fueled by the lives of others. Within that noxious mass see the billion microscopic lives which found shelter and purpose within you. Wipe, now, and stand. This, too, is an epic that is now at an end. Feel the emptiness and possibility within you. Go forth and find your greatness.
Clean your room.
And then clean it metaphorically, in every conceivable way. What I mean is, don't be afraid to throw out any garbage that you don't need, thoughts, concepts, habits, fears, etc.
Thank you, Jesus.
I spent 4 days doing this, literally taking everything out, cleaning it all, and putting it back in. There was a moment where I had just a bed and one bookshelf in it, and I felt like I could be happy with just that. Of course, I have way more stuff that I also use, so.
And treat yourself like someone you were responsible for helping, bucko.
Get a job, save some money for emergencies, have a hobby and get out and interact with people.
But, I done want it.
Meh. Queen. Start with forming one simple habit first, as opposed to trying to fix all your bad habits at once. For example, I was always too lazy to bring my dirty laundry downstairs. I would have a week's worth of laundry piled up before my mom would have to yell at me to bring it downstairs. Now, I decide to bring it downstairs when my hamper is roughly half full, about 3/4 days worth of laundry. Now that I've mastered that habit, I've moved on to bringing my garbage and recycle bins downstairs sooner. It just takes time and patience and self-love. I don't think most of us intentionally want to be chronically lazy. A lot of us can't even help it. For example, some people with depression don't have the motivation to do these simple chores, keep their room clean, etc. I spent a majority of my life being chronically lazy and hating it. But since I've been slowly improving certain habits, I've noticed I feel a lot more at ease, less lazy, etc. Good luck to you.
Talk to your doctor about it. You could have ADHD and haven't been diagnosed. I was diagnosed at 36, and medication can make a world of difference.
Start exercising. It can be anything. For me, it started with going to the park and shooting hoops. Eat healthy foods. It will change how you feel and you will find you have more energy. Clean your room and maintain it as necessary. Even little tasks like this make you feel more productive and better about yourself. Plus, it is nice to live in a clean environment. I'd start with that. Try and stick to this for 2 weeks and see how you feel. Also, I recommend reading the book 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos by Jordan Peterson. Lots of great tips for turning your life around, as I was in a similar place not long ago. Good luck, friend.
Just look up tons of motivational memes on Instagram. Nothing is more motivational than trust fund babies telling you to get out there and make your dreams come true.
First off, you have to find a reason. A lifestyle change only works if you have a clearly defined goal or a reason that is fulfilling to you. Second, you need to stick to it. Every task gets easier as you do it more and more often. Everything is hard the first time you do it, but I promise it always gets easier. Third, get a support group, friendly people that encourage you to be the best. You can. Fourth, profit.
The best video ever for motivation, I swear. YouTube links in the description.
As Shia LaBeouf says,
Do it! Just do it! Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Nothing is impossible! No, what are you waiting for? Do it!